Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my current eyeshadow palettes. I keep them in this little bin for organization's sake. I have a couple more eyeshadow palettes, but those I have not opened yet, so I'm not going to touch those. I just want to talk about the ones that I have opened and that I use. A lot of these, probably the majority of these, are not going to be anything new. You guys have probably seen videos of these eyeshadow palettes. I do apologize for that. But I do have two new eyeshadow palettes that if I remember I will show you at the end, and maybe you guys would want a video on those and just seeing like swatches or a review or a first impressions, something like that. But that'll be, you know, something that you guys could comment on and see if I'm going to do that. But let's get started. So the first is the Tarte Pro To Go from Tarte. I talked about this one in my What's in My Makeup Bag video. This is what it looks like. It has some neutral matte shades here, and then it has a little goldish color here and some metallic ones here, metallics or shimmers. But it's very nifty to have, especially in your makeup bag. I feel like you can do a couple of combinations with this. However, I will say that in terms of like these two shadows, especially the ones on this side, they do tend to have some fallout. So if you don't want to deal with that or something, I wouldn't recommend this one. But if you want something to travel with, say you're going on vacation or just in general to have with you at all times whenever you're out and about, this one would be a good one. Like I said, just be aware of the fallout. I would keep a makeup wipe handy or something else to kind of help with the fallout, especially if you're on the go. It's really inconvenient to have a ton of fallout if you're trying to do things on the go, so just be aware of that. And then the next thing I want to talk about, it's also a small one, is the Marc Jacobs Style Icon number 3. It is number 118, the Supreme. And this is what it looks like. You just click this middle thing, and it opens up. It does have a mirror. If you see my eyes looking a little weird, that's because I'm focusing on the screen right here and not at the actual lens, which I apologize because that's what I should be doing. But I just want to make sure that you guys are able to see the eyeshadows and that I'm actually putting it pretty close. So it's got this little metallic one right here, it's got the gray one, and then it's got this white one right here. I haven't used this one much. The first time I used it, I didn't really like it. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't use any primer when I used this one, so that may be the case. I'm going to try it again at some point and see if something changes and maybe I like it, maybe it was the primer, and yeah. Alright, next is the Tarte Buried Treasure eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. It has a lot of very nude, neutral kind of colors, and then it's got some red ones right here. This one's another one that I'm kind of iffy about. It looked, the colors looked a lot brighter on the Sephora website, and that's why I got it, but when I opened it I was a little disappointed to find that it's not as bright as I had expected it to be. I've done, I think I've done at least 2 looks. Maybe I'm lying, maybe it's just one with this. And it was okay, so this is another one that I kind of have to try out more and see if I'm going to end up keeping. But yeah, let's see. Next is the Urban Decay Electric Palette. By the way, I have to say the packaging on this one is beautiful. I just love all the colors to it. I love the look of it. If you open it up, it has a mirror. Mine still has the plastic. That happened. The little brush duo just fell. Wonderful. But these are the colors. These are very bold colors. I'd say if there's one that probably isn't that bold, it's Revolt. Maybe Jilted and Urban aren't as bold, but these are very bold colors. This is one that I was afraid to get for a couple of months. I had seen it on the Sephora website. It was on sale. Didn't get it. my friend went shopping with me and she was like, hey, I think you're going to like this eyeshadow palette. She showed me some looks that she had done not based, but using this palette, and I loved her looks. So I wanted to get it. Sephora didn't have it in store either, and luckily she told me that Nordstrom Rack had them, and so I was able to buy it there. But I love this palette. I want to do more bold looks. I even have some tutorials that I found on Pinterest. They are pinned. Hopefully I will be able to go through them at some point and kind of play with this one, because this one's a really nice one. Let's see. I have the Colourpop Yes Please eyeshadow palette. I love Colourpop. Colourpop is just a very affordable brand. It has great pricing and their products are good. There are a couple hits, not hits, but there are a couple misses for me. One of their lippies didn't really work out for me. I don't know if it was just that one bad lippy thing, but whenever I would use it, or if I didn't use it and I just opened it, the whole thing would just come out, the whole lippy product would come out. So I'm hoping that it was just a little small error, because I do like some of their stuff, and hopefully that was just a small error. But I still love Colourpop. Like I said, they're very a very affordable brand, which I love. But back to this palette, this is what it looks like. It's got beautiful colors. People said, well, a couple people mentioned that this was a more fall kind of eyeshadow palette. I disagree. I think it's more of a year-round eyeshadow palette. I think that if you know how to blend these and mix these, you're gonna get a good use of them year-round. I tend to do just a 2 eyeshadow color look on my eyes whenever I use this. Lately I've been mixing this one right here with this one, just a little matte as a foundation, and then the shimmery one to top it off. And I think, personally, I think it looks good for what I'm able to do, which isn't that much. Another Colourpop palette is the Femme Rosa Carucci and Colourpop She collaboration. This is no longer available. I got an email from Colourpop saying they were gonna do this as a last call. When I clicked on it, the palette was out of stock, so I only got one. I had ordered 2 and I gave one to my old manager, and then I kept this one, but now I'm kind of wishing that I had kept both, because this is probably my most used eyeshadow palette. These are the colors in it. They are just very nice warm colors. They have some kind of neutral, not really, colors in here, but this is what it looks like. This is, like I said, probably my most used eyeshadow palette. I use it for work. Whenever I decide to kind of do something a little more, not basic, but a little more than the basic, I use it for work. I use it for days that I am going out but don't want to do a ton with my eye look. So I really like this one. At first I wasn't really into it, but the more I used it and the more I blended with other colors and kind of tried to do some things, the more I liked it. So really good. This is technically an eyeshadow palette, but it's just an empty Z palette type of thing. So it's got a couple of Colourpop ones in here. This is the blush from Sephora, and then this is a eyeshadow color from Sephora as well. So it's not really a eyeshadow palette in that sense. This is the Too Faced. I'm confused because on the cover it says Boss Lady, and if you were to go into Sephora or something, I think that's what the title is, but then you've got your Best Year Ever on the actual name of this. But I guess that's kind of something similar to what Colourpop did with their QAF right here, instead of actually putting the Yes Please. So maybe that's what it was. I do like this one. This one is definitely a more holiday centered palette, but I like it. My favorites are Unwrap Me, which is right here, and yes, I do have the plastic covering on it, and then Sleigh Bells, which is this one. I have used these two the most. I also like that it has a highlighter a blush and a bronzer or contour, depending on what you want to use it for. If I didn't show it up enough, the highlighter, blush, and bronzer is right up there. Very holiday inspired, which I like, but I think that you can also just use this year round. I mean, what eyeshadow palette can you not use year round? Alright, next is the BH Cosmetics 2nd edition 120 color eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. You just press this little thing in the middle, kind of like the Marc Jacob ones, and it opens. And it's got a whole bunch of colors on there. Like, look at that. Look at the colors on here. That is insane. And then I can pop it so that this one, let me see if I can do it well. So that this one comes off. And then you have a bottom tray with more colors in there. So that's what it looks like. These don't have names. The others have like names on them. These do not. Sorry, I had dropped the plastic, which I can imagine it would be quite a task to name all 120 eyeshadows. But it's really nifty. I think that if you're like me and you're beginning to get into makeup and you're a makeup newbie like me, this would be really good. A really good investment because you do get a lot of eyeshadow colors in here. Next up is the Masquerade by Juvia. I love this cover. I think it is a beautiful cover, but I like the colors in here even more. These are really pretty colors. You've got some that work as more neutral bases. You've got your pops of color up on top. It's just really nice, really pretty. I just like it. I use it every once in a while, like I said, when I have time to really get into my makeup and do a full face, or even just a quick, not a quick, but like if I want to really focus on my eyes for that day type of thing. And then last but not least is the Tarte Pro Palette. I've started using this one again mainly because of this eyeshadow right here, Chick. This one I use on my eyelids, just a really simple thing whenever I'm in a rush or I know that I'm going to have like a closing shift for work. So I just put it on my eyes to give my eyes a little pop of color, and it just brightens it up a little bit. It's really subtle, like nobody really would notice, I don't think. Oh, but I didn't show you the rest of them. But it's got a nice mirror too, but these are the colors. You've got your nice little neutrals on this side, then you've got some of your colors right here, and then you've got your like shimmer shades right on this side. So yeah, that's my current eyeshadow palette collection that I have that I use. Like I said, I have a couple more, but I haven't opened them. I don't really want to mess with them too much right now because I have these and I don't want to be wasteful in terms of those. But yeah. Like I said earlier, I wanted to mention 2 recent eyeshadow palette purchases. The first is the NYX Professional Makeup Ultimate Shadow Palette. It has quite a few in there, but these are really pretty colors. Like I said, they look pretty to me. I cannot wait to try it. Oh, it has a number in the name. USP04 Brights, which is nice that it has that. So that's what this looks like. And then I have the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collaboration Kaleidoscopic Dream Eyeshadow Palette. This is the packaging. It's pretty. And then these are the eyeshadows. It's a little weird that it's not like a full circle kind of pot or a square pot, that it's got some of these like really weird long ones right here, and then it's got this one that's got like a mix of them. You can't really see it very well, unfortunately, but it's got like a kind of like a grayish, but not really gray color, and then it's got a white one on this side, and it's got its little brush duo right here. But yeah, these are 2 recent purchases in terms of eyeshadow palettes. If you guys would like me to review them or swatch them, let me know in the comments below. I will do my best to make that video for you guys. But yeah guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.